Alright, ladies, so hopefully finals went well and everyone kind of made it back to home safe if you're going home. If you're still around, that's awesome. We'll be in here, with open hours throughout the week. I just wanted to make this short little video to kind of go over the program for the next 3 weeks that will start tomorrow. I had a few questions from Amanda came in and asked a few questions about some of the exercises and things like that. So I just wanted to clarify a few things. I'm also going to make some demonstration videos for the exercises as well. And again, feel free to reach out to me if you have questions about some of the exercises. So first of all, we're going to look at day one. So on day one, we have hang clean extensions. So we did those before. Obviously, keep the bar above the knee in kind of an RDL position, and then just big jump and shrug. Think about vertical jumping with the bar. You're going to superset that with a plank. So if you look at the sheet, right, you'll see A1, A2. So if it's the same letter, that means you're going to superset. So what that means is that you're going to do a hang clean extension right into your plank, and then rest before your next set, if that makes sense. So planks are going to go 30 seconds each, 4 sets, kind of lines up with doing 4 sets of the hang clean extension. So it's just kind of one right after the other. Again, with those planks, though, make sure that you're squeezing your glutes, squeezing your butt. Everything should be nice and tight. And make sure those elbows are right underneath the shoulder and not too far in front. You'll also notice that it has a percentage, 70%. Obviously, we don't have percentages right now, and I'm probably going to stay away from percentages, but this is just as a guideline to know of kind of where it should be. You want to challenge yourself with that. I'm going to go over RPE a little bit later, but 70% should be about 7-ish RPE, which means it's difficult, but you can still accomplish it, and it's not like you're close to failing. Next, we're going to go into the bench press with rear delt raise. So bench press, it says RPE 7. So again, you're doing a warm-up set, then RPE 7. Again, I'll go over RPE once we go through the whole template and things like that, but challenge yourself with that. You're going to superset that with rear delt raise. So rear delt raise is when we do the 3-way shoulder where we go out front, the one that's bent over, and you're going kind of hunched over in that RDL position with a dumbbell, 5 pounds or whatever, going straight back kind of into that T position. That's what the rear delt raise is. And then band hold press outs is where we have a band stuck to the side, or is wrapped around kind of a rack, coming to your chest, and then you're pressing straight out. So the band is on the other side across your body here, and you're pressing straight out. Okay, you'll do each side for that. The next superset, and again, those are 3 exercises you're supersetting. So you should go set a bench, rear delt raise, the press outs, then take your rest. From there, you're going to go dumbbell row. That's going to be each sides. I didn't put that in there, but it's each side. So single arm dumbbell row, elbows tucked in tight, nice flat back. Supersetting that with a half kneeling shoulder press. So remember, in that lunge position with the knee slightly above the ground, and then pressing up overhead, opposite arm, opposite leg. When you press up, make sure that we're pressing slightly back so our bicep is right by the ear. Finishing up with curls of choice, so kind of hammer curls, regular curls, easy bar curls, whatever you want to do. Supersetting that with your plate / dumbbell hold finisher. So what that means is you're going to take a challenging weight of either dumbbells or a plate, and if you have a plate, you're going to pinch it just like this. If you have dumbbells, you're obviously going to hold it on like so, just like grabbing onto a regular dumbbell, and you're just going to hold it. So we're working on grip strength here. Make sure that we roll our shoulders back, keep a nice proud chest, so we're not just hunched over. Just trying to work on some of that grip strength for you guys. Day 2, again, we're going dumbbell jump and shrug. I'm actually going to take out that shrug portion, so we're just going to do dumbbell jump. So squat down in a quarter squat, make it reactive, so be fast with that. Make sure that we're driving those knees out as well, so we're not just, our knee cave is in as we go. We want to make those fast though, okay? Make sure we get full extension of the hips and squeeze the glutes to the top. And on the last one, let's make sure that we catch it in the kind of that athletic position. We're not just, catching randomly and letting our legs be straight or something like that. You're going to superset that with single leg lateral hops. So you're just going to be on one leg, kind of like a line jump. So you're just jumping back and forth. One leg and then the other leg. Again, A1, A2, that means that they're supersetted, so you're going right into the next one. After that, we're going to go back squat with VMO. So remember VMO, you're grabbing the band, putting it right around the knee, and keeping that heel down as you go forward with that. The other leg stays straight. Hopefully we have a band for you guys that you guys can use on your own. If not, let me know and I'll get something that we can do to substitute for that. Back squats, again, we're staying at RPE 7 to 8, which again I'll go over at the end of this. So those are supersetted. After that, we're going to go Bulgarian squats. So remember, 1 foot up on, if you don't have a rolly or whatever that we have like in Sharp, go ahead and use just a bench. So put your foot on the bench. Remember, make sure you have a nice proud chest, shoulders are rolled back. 2 dumbbells, so I want you guys to use 2 dumbbells. Again, it says on there minimum of 25 pounds in each hand, so we're really pushing the weight a little bit and pushing the reps as well. I'm going to superset that with dumbbell RDLs, and then Russian twist with a plate or dumbbell. And then we're going to finish up with a gun show. Trying to get you guys a little bit of some of those show muscles here. Some biceps, triceps, and forearms. Everything is up to you. So you can do regular curls, hammer curls, tricep extensions with the cable, with the band. The floor, you could do floor press if you want as well. That's another tricep exercise. And then forearms, reverse curls where your palms are this way. You're kind of coming up like this. Or you can hold out dumbbells like this, elbows to the side, just kind of rotate, just so we're working on some forearm, more grip strength work. That way, when you have the basketball and stuff, we're not getting it ripped out of our hands. Day 3, trap bar deadlift. So Amanda asked me what that was. Diamond bar. So I've always called it a trap bar. I know it's a diamond bar here, so that's my mistake. But either one is the same thing. So if you're at a gym and you're like, oh, I need a diamond bar, and they're like, what's that? Tell them a trap bar. Maybe they'll understand. If you don't have access to either one of those, I'm okay doing regular deadlifts. So with just a straight bar, and I'll be demoing all of those as well, just so you guys can see how to do it. There's also this awesome thing called YouTube, where you can also YouTube some of those for some technique things as well. You're going to pair that trap bar deadlift with vertical jump. So you're doing pretty much a squat jump, using your arms to come up fully extended, and then right back down, using your arms to bring yourself down, right back into the next one. So when it says rapid response, what the rapid response means is that you're just going fast. Okay. From there, you're going to superset medium pull downs. So that's on the lat machine, nice wide grip, pulling straight down the chest, slight lean back with lateral lunges. So I want you to have the dumbbell in a goblet position. And when you go back, think about sitting back nice and deep and then pushing off really hard with that leg that went out for the lunge. That's going to help you guys just kind of think about putting more force into the ground. It's going to help you when we go into lateral shuffles and things like that. So really have intent with every single one that you do, every single rep. And then you're going to finish that off with a side plank hip lift. So you're in a side plank position. And then you're just going to drop your hip down, touch the ground, right back up to that side plank. Okay, have it controlled. So I know it's, let's see, it's 8 each side. So slow and controlled. I don't want you to just rush through that. And then last superset you're going to do is dumbbell incline bench. Self-explanatory for you guys. Just keep those elbows tucked in, okay? Especially on any bench movement that we're doing, keep those elbows tucked in. Too many of us are out here. It's awful for the shoulders. We got to protect those shoulders as much as we can. Superset that with band pull-aparts. If you don't have a band, go back to those rear delt flies that we did on Monday, or day 1. It's pretty much the same exact exercise, but if you don't have a band, then that's another substitute that you can do. If we are doing band, palms are going to be facing up for that, okay? And then finishing off with Supermans. You guys know the drill with those arms. Pretty much the chest, arms, and then the legs go up at the same time, and they also come down at the same time. So keep that in mind as well. And then glute finisher, which I explained in one of the other part of the packet. It's a slide on itself. It's this one right here. So frog pumps, remember those. It's going to be in that butterfly position with the dumbbell there. 20 reps, so it's going to be a lot of reps, but I want you guys to kind of, we're working on the posterior chain, which is pretty much your backside because that's going to help you with injury prevention and things like that. Clamshells, 10 each side, so that's where you have the band above your knees laying on your side, opening up fast, slow, and controlled on the way down. Again, I'll do a demo of this as well for you guys. Hip thrust, so you're going to go ahead and actually, instead of hip thrust, let's do glute bridge. Okay, so you're going to keep that band that you use for clamshells, put it above your knees just like you had it. You're going to spread the legs. You're going to do just regular glute bridges, driving your heels through the ground, big squeeze at the top. And then band lateral walks. So you're going to have the bands again right above the knees, and you're just going to be walking side to side. Okay, so you're going to go 10 one way, 10 back. With that, make sure that you take a big step with the lead leg, and the other one doesn't touch your other leg, but it comes close, so kind of right underneath your hips. Okay, so that's what the program. Amanda also had a question about mobility and activation. So at the top, you kind of see it has the mobility part and the activation. So those are options just to help you out if you want to do something more than just the warm-up that I'm going to go over in a second. So the hip matrix is just going to be kind of, you're on all fours, you're doing some hip circles, some fire hydrants, and kind of kickbacks and things like that. Spider lunge, that's where you're just in that spider position where you're in kind of a plank position, then your one leg comes up towards your hand, you kind of hold that for a second, rock back on your hamstring, that's one, then you switch to the other side. And then band lat stretch, that's your lats. You're going to grab a band, put it up top, just kind of reach back with that, just kind of feel a nice stretch in the lat. Activation, split squat iso, so that's where you're just in a lunge position, and you're just going to hold that bottom position for 5 seconds, and then you switch 5 seconds, just to kind of get your legs warmed up. Band up and overs, that's where you're just going to have a band going around. You've probably seen, I know Natalia and Sydney did that a lot with the PVC pipe. If you have a PVC pipe, you can do that as well. You don't need to use a band for that. And then band TKEs, those are VMOs. On the day that we do VMOs, I don't think, it's not on there, but feel free to do those on that day as well, just to kind of get some extra stuff in. So VMOs are really good for knee health. That's the only reason that we're doing it, or the biggest reason we're doing it. Lying T-spine rotation, I'll go through that later on. 90-90 stretch, again, so you'll see day 1 and day 3 have the same mobility and activation. Day 2 is the only one that's different. A lot of those are things that you've done, but if you haven't, I'm going to do a short little video hopefully on that as well, just so you guys can see it done. So next I want to go over RPE. So RPE is rate of perceived exertion. So what that means is that, I'm going to use this especially when we get in season, because some people after a game when we come into the weight room are going to feel a lot better than someone else that maybe didn't play as many minutes, or maybe they just recover better than someone else. So instead of doing percentages where your 70% that day could feel super light for someone, but also someone can be like, man, this is going to wreck me. It feels like 95% today, right? So we're going to do RPE. That way it's all based on you and how you feel that day. So kind of like laid out here, right? So an RPE of 10 is your max effort. We're not going to do this until we max out. That's not what we're going for. So nothing in this program should feel like a 10. If it is, back the weight off. For the most part, we're staying in the 7 and 8 range. So 7 and 8, it's heavy. So for 8, right, you think it's heavy, but you could probably do a couple more reps. And then 7, it's the same thing. It's moderate. It's something that you can deal with. It's challenging, but it's not like, oh, I'm gonna fail or I'm close to failing. You have multiple reps in the tank. So think of RPE 7 as your 70%, where it's it feels like you're moving good weight, but it's not too difficult where you're close to failing, right? And then same with 8. 8 is gonna be heavy and it's gonna challenge you, but you can be like, I probably have at least 2 reps left in the tank here. Again, this is all based on feel. So a lot of the kind of main lifts that we're using the RPE scale for is going to have a warm-up set. So that warm-up set is going to kind of dictate where your next set is going to go. Your warm-up, it should be easy, maybe RPE 5, where it's like I could do this for multiple sets and reps. And then from there, you're going to increase the weight. Again, if that weight is too easy and you're like, man, I don't want you to count that as your first set. Just because then we're taking away from a quality, set. So if it's way too light, way too easy, be like, okay, that was another nice little warm-up set. I'm going to bump the weight up and go up to something more that's more relative to my RPE 7 that day, or RPE 8, or whatever it may be. With that being said, you're going to be able to use week 1's numbers to gauge where you're going to be at for week 2. You'll kind of notice in there, it says, RPE 7. I'm trying to think. There's a couple. Oh yeah, right here. So back squat. You'll notice. Let me see if I can see it. Back squat. You'll notice that on there it says 5%. So that's not. It's not supposed to be 5%. So week 1, it says week 1 or W1. That means you want to use week 1's weight for that first set, and then I want you to increase that weight by about 5 pounds. Okay, that's where I want you to start. And if that's too easy, again, try to bump the weight up a little bit, right? The biggest thing with this kind of programming, or just strength training in general, is that we have to push the weights up. It's called progressive overload. So we either do that by increasing weight, increasing the reps, decreasing time in between sets, things like that. But we always have to progress. That's why I kind of like this week 1, week 2, week 3 layout, so that way you can see the weight you used in the previous week and try to beat that weight. Like I made a note in one of the slides, you need to progress, right? So if for 1 week the rep target is 10, right? But you got 9 on your last one. I'm okay with that. I would rather you get to 9 and it's quality 9 reps and you challenge yourself than get all 10 reps and it be just a breeze. So again, challenge yourself. If you're within 1 or 2 reps, I'm okay with that. Just use that weight next week and see if you can get that rep target. So say we're doing, let's just say we're doing rows, right? And it's a set of 10 and you got 9. That's awesome. You got 9, I'm good with that. Next week, use that same weight and say the first set you get 10. Boom, perfect. Either stay at that weight or slightly bump it up. Just see how it feels. If the 10 was challenging, stay there, because I'd rather you just get all 10 there. But if it was like, oh, I got 10 pretty easy this week, that's awesome. Bump the weight up, okay? So that's enough about RPE and kind of that right there. Again, if you have questions about the program or RPE, just let me know. The warm-up, so pretty basic, but maybe just a few things we haven't really done in a while or anything like that. So jog down and back, pretty self-explanatory. Back pedal run, so it's just, we really want to think about reaching back really far with our leg as we run backwards, and also staying over and not leaning back as we run back. Shuffle down and back, so just a regular shuffle. I don't want you to do the shuffle, squat. Just shuffle down, shuffle back. Karaoke, pretty self-explanatory for that one, down and back, facing the same way. Open, close, just like we've done, open, close, gate. Let's do that twice. So the first one I want you to just do regular, and then the second one I want you to do with a hop. That way we're getting a little bit more dynamic with that. Then we have a stretch and flex, so your feet together, and then you're going to go straight down. So just a nice hamstring stretch. Legs are straight as well. Then you're going to spread your feet nice and wide. You're going to go down the middle, hold it for about 10 seconds, go to the left, and then go to the right. Standing hurdler, so you're just going to pull back on the ankle and just kind of hold that back. Again, hold it for about 10 seconds. Figure 4, you're going to go ahead, sit down, and get on figure 4 for your right and then your left. Do a butterfly. And then the last one, Saigon squat. I will demo this for you guys, but also just look it up on Google. It's pretty simple, and I can also post a video of me doing the warm-up and things like that just so you can see it done as well. But pretty much all it is just holding the bottom position of a squat, but all the way down, and then your knees are kind of in between your legs at the bottom, and then keeping the feet flat and chest up. Then you're going to go arm circles forward and back. Chain breakers, where you're just going across your chest. Okay, that's a chain breaker. Trunk twist. Windmills, you're going to be in kind of an RDL position, and you're just kind of swinging back and forth there. 5 push-ups. You can go to your knees for that, just to kind of get activated. 10 sit-ups. 10 just regular squats. and then 10 jumping jacks. So pretty self-explanatory with the warm-up there. Hope that was weird. So it kind of went dark there for a second for me. So don't worry about that. But so that's kind of the basics of the program. Again, I'm going to go over especially June, because there's a lot of exercises you haven't seen that we haven't done yet that I'm going to need to demonstrate for you guys. So I'm going to do kind of an exercise demonstration for you guys for June. And then I'm going to go back, and after you see this video, and after you kind of look through the program even more, let me know if there's something that you need to see. Because I will for sure, make a video real quick, put it in the group, and then we can go from there so you can see it. For conditioning, I'm going to go, again, I'm going to send that out each week just so you guys know what to do and what's expected. And if you want to, shoot me a picture if you're doing a workout, if you want to do something like that, that's awesome. If not, don't worry about it. I trust you guys. Just remember, this is going to be the foundation for what we go on when everyone gets back. So this is extremely important to get something in. Hopefully you can get all 3 days, you can get all the conditioning in. I know life comes up, you're traveling, you're vacationing, something like that. But this is what sets you apart, right? So this off-season training is what sets you apart when we get into conference play and when we get into playing games. Like I told a few of you guys, my plan is for us to hit May, hit June hard. We get back in July, we're going to hit it hard as well. August, we're going to max out probably that first full week of August, and then we'll have a couple weeks before school starts back up. We're going to push it a little bit more with some of the weight, but then we're going to kind of back it off once we get towards the games, just because that way we can stay fresh and things like that. I don't want to back off completely. Like, we're not just going to foam roll, do that kind of stuff. We're still going to, push it in the weight room, but it's just going to be more maintenance type stuff. But again, this is where we set the foundation. This is where we set the tone for this coming season. So please take this seriously. Please, reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm going to try to do videos like this each week, hopefully, for you guys, just in case you need it. Again, if you need anything, my email and phone number is on the packet. And if you're in town, we're going to be here all summer. So we'll be here from 9 to 3. If you can find your time to come in during that time, that's awesome if you're around. If not, shoot me a text if you are around and you want to come in at a different time, like maybe early before that or after. Just let me know and I'll make myself available. Other than that, have a great summer, and I will see all of you guys in July.